What's up, guys? James here with Fun Fact of the Day. Hope you guys are having a great day, learning lots, and getting stuff done. Now, I have to warn you, everything I say in this video is going to feel extremely controversial. It's going to tear at your heartstrings. You see, as human beings, we have to come up with an explanation for everything in the world. And so, when some know-it-all jerk like me decides to come over here and try and tell you that it can all be explained by something extremely simple, it just feels wrong. So, in an attempt to show you what the heck I'm talking about, I'm going to ask you a question. Why is it that all the really attractive 10 out of 10 women seem to end up with, kind of grungy, dad bod looking 4s? Now, pause the video, go down to the comments, and tell me exactly why that is. Give me an explanation. I want to know. Now, you probably commented something to the tune of maybe they always want to be the center of attention and having a less attractive boyfriend helps them do that, or maybe dad bod guys just have more fun because they don't care about going to the gym. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. There could be 10 million reasons why this is the case. However, they can all be explained by one simple thing, and that is the topic of today's video: regression to the mean. Yes, I know, this is a scary math term, and so instead of giving you a really boring, mind-numbing lecture that makes you want to slam your head in the car door a few hundred times instead of listening, I am going to try and tell you all about it through a fun story. Once upon a time, there was an Israeli Air Force instructor, and you see, he had a theory. Every single time one of his students did a bad job at one of their flight activities, he would ream them until they wanted to commit self-harm. But, you see, it worked for him, because every single time he did that, they got better the next time. They did a better job the next time around. And the opposite was true. Every single time somebody did a really good job, he found that if he praised them, they would just do a worse job next time. So, he never praised anybody, and he yelled at everybody who did a bad job, and became the meanest Air Force instructor ever. But it seemed to work for him. Why is that? Now, let me ask you. Do you think that these people did better because maybe the yelling scared them into doing a good job because they had so much pressure on them? Or maybe the people who did a really good job and then were praised for it got lazy and, very lax about things and decided to stop doing a good job because the pressure wasn't on anymore? Is that why? Or is it regression to the mean? The point to all this is that none of those reasons actually matter, because it's probably a combination of 10 million little tiny things, all working together at once. Maybe everything went wrong and he did a bad job, and then, the next time, because he's not a terrible pilot, he didn't do as bad of a job. It didn't matter if he got yelled at or not, because he was regressing to the mean. If you go back to math, we'll just real quick touch on math. The mean is basically the average of all of your whatever. So in this case, it's your flight attempts. On average, they probably do a decent job. And so if one time they do a bad job, the next time there's a good chance that they are going to do better, because most of the time they're in the middle of that average. The same exact thing applies to the hot chick question that I asked you earlier. Basically, if you look at a graph of all the people in the world, there are very few perfect 10s out there, but there are billions of 4s, 5s, and 6s. And so, every time one of these perfect 10s is, out in the dating field, for every perfect 10 that they meet, they also met 2,000 regular people. And so, statistically speaking, the chances they are going to regress to the mean and end up dating a regular guy, because obviously there are 10,000 million reasons why you'd want to date somebody. And, on average, it's more likely that they're going to regress to the mean and date a regular person. In case this isn't quite making sense, I'm going to throw another example at you. Basically, think about Tiger Woods and golf, okay? Tiger Woods is a good golfer. But let's say he has a really bad golf game. Does that mean he's a bad golfer? No. But the next time he has a golf game, would you expect that he is going to continually do bad? Or would you expect that more likely than not, he's going to actually get better the next time he plays. That's probably the more likely scenario because, on average, if he does really badly, next time, he's probably going to do better because on average, he does better. And vice versa. If he has a great golf game, way better than normal, there's a good chance that he's going to do worse. They sometimes call this the Sports Illustrated effect because back in the day, if you were the best football player or whatever, you would end up on Sports Illustrated magazine, and then the next season, there's a good chance that that person would do terrible, and so they called it a curse, but in reality, they just had a really good season because 10 million tiny things happened to align for them, and they did everything right, and then the chances of them continually being perfect are very low, so over time they're going to average out and regress to the mean. The whole point of this is to talk about how, in your life, all the little things that are usually explained away by what are called casual explanations really don't matter. They all are explained simply by regression to the mean. If you found this style of video interesting and you want to see a very similar one about the anchor effect and how it makes you buy things, click right here. I'll have it right there with a whole playlist full of other videos that are extremely interesting. And I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe because it helps my videos grow tremendously and it'll just make me happy. So thank you very much and I will see you tomorrow or maybe the next day because these take a long time to make.